System battery helped to intercept a Houthi ballistic missile that was launched at Israel from Yemen Friday. It's the first time the system has been used since it was deployed by the U.S. back in October, so several months ago. The Terminal High Altitude Area Defense System was used to try to intercept the missile, and an assessment will determine that success. In a video posted to social media showing the system launching an interceptor, an American soldier can actually be heard saying, quote, 18 years I've been waiting for this. All of this as the back and forth does continue between Israel and the Houthi terror group. Earlier this week, the Houthis took responsibility for an attack on Israel, saying that they were targeting Israel's main international airport. While that missile was intercepted, Israeli officials say at least 18 people suffered minor injuries as they rushed to bomb shelters as the sirens were sounding in the area. A lot to discuss as always, so I do want to bring in Dr. Asaf Romarowski, the Executive Director of Scholars for Peace in the Middle East. Thank you so much for taking the time to be here with us today.
Good morning. Thank you for having me as always.
Of course. Well, first off, I want to talk to you about the situation developing there with that American defense system being used. Obviously, right now, it appears that there's an investigation of sorts underway, as there are assessments that will be done to figure out if the American system is actually what intercepted that missile. But how significant is it that this is the first time that has been used?
Well, it's critical. I mean, so the THAAD, as you said correctly, has been deployed to the region since October, but it has not been operational. And so now, for the first time, we've used it. And there are two major takeaways that need to be obviously looked at. One is for Israeli adversaries to actually know that they're actually American boots on the ground. We're actually working with the Israelis, and it's not just words, there are actually deeds behind that. And that is actually a very critical aspect. And the U.S. indeed committed to standing by Israel, but obviously, from having an actual statement, as far as the threat versus actually having American troops on the ground who are actually operating the THAAD system itself, the battery, is indeed a step, as far as an acceleration. And the Houthis and Iran and Iranian proxies in general should take note of that. The other part, which is also very interesting as well, is that usually any kind of American system, the U.S. decides when it operates the system. They're the ones who are giving the orders. Here, in a very unique situation, actually, they were taking the orders from the Israelis, which is also very unique and shows the collaboration, the fact that really Israel is the one calling the shots, and they're collaborating together, which again, a very unique environment as far as, if you contrast that between areas where we have forces and we had forces in Iraq and Afghanistan and other places. It's the U.S. calling the shots. CENTCOM is the one giving the calls on a lot of these aspects as far as intel, as far as operational issues. Here, they're following the Israelis and following Israeli marching orders. That's also very unique from an intelligence standpoint, and also should signal to the Houthis really who's calling the shots. That's another aspect as far as understanding the larger arena at large. And thirdly, and above all, really the fact that there is skin in the game to show that indeed America's enemies are Israel's enemies and vice versa. And they're actually fighting this war together because they know what's at stake here.